Krizowitz from People for a Cure, and welcome to 10 Questions with the Pro. Today's guest is Amanda Dennis, who played goalkeeper and started for Penn State over the course of 3 seasons, starting 72 games and earning 24 shutouts. She ranks the 5th in program history with 202 saves. She is now a goalie for the Houston Dash, and I'm so happy to have her on 10 Questions with the Pro. Amanda, thank you for being on the show. How are you doing?
Thank you. I'm doing wonderful. I'm actually currently in Houston right now. We just returned from our break after playing in the 2020 NWCL Challenge Cup, which we won, which is a pretty big deal. So we're super pumped about that. Just had our first
Congratulations.
Thank you so much. Yeah, we just had our first day of training today, getting ready for this little fall stretch of training.
Amanda, are you ready to dive into these questions?
Yep, let's go for it.
All right. Why did you become a goalie?
So I became a goalkeeper when I was 12. I just played regular rec league soccer. We played co-ed when I was younger, and I played on the field. You know how it is. You just kind of play everywhere. And then I got a little bit more invested into club ball, and so I decided, where am I going to play? I don't know what I'm going to do, and I just love the idea of the goalkeeper like being different in soccer. We can use our hands, and just that drive to be different is always something that really was important to me. Growing up as a kid, I always did things that were not expected, and so I went to my parents and I said, I want to be a goalkeeper, and they said, perfect, let's go for it.
That's awesome, because when you start off playing soccer, you switch positions. Like some normal people would just be like, you could defender or a striker, and then the not normal people like us goalkeepers decide to play goalkeeper.
Exactly, yeah. I mean, it was just, I love the idea of, scoring goals, but keeping the ball in the net just seemed like such a challenge, and I never did anything that was easy in my life. I've never done that, and so I was like, you know what, like I goalkeeper sounds like the perfect thing for me, and I have loved it ever since.
Yeah. What motivates you to keep training hard to maintain being a professional goalie?
I think being a goalkeeper is constantly striving for this perfection. We're always in training trying to perfect technique, different types of saves, communication, leadership aspects. It's such a broad position, and I think it's so important to. There's so many life lessons that can come with being a goalkeeper, and so I love the idea of constantly striving to be perfect. Every day you can work on volleys for your entire life, and I could personally never get tired of it. That just those little things, all those little details that make a good goalkeeper is something that is so addictive, and you're constantly trying to be better than you were that training, that game before. Even though you had maybe a knockout performance, you're never satisfied, and that's just something that has always been instilled in me to keep striving to be better. And goalkeeping is you're never going to be 100% of the best goalkeeper all the time, but we're always constantly striving to do that, and so that's something that is really important to me, and that's what I love about it.
Yeah, you could be good at all these top hand saves, but you're not good at these tiny little details that you have to be perfect at every second when you like calling back for the ball, goal kicks, punts. You could be great at catching and everything, but the tiny things you got to be good at too.
And exactly, and every year as soon as you get older, the pro level game is completely different than what I used to play in college. And then even from club, there's always constantly new challenges, and the players that you're playing with are always going to be better and are going to be presenting you with new saves to make. You're like, wow, I didn't even realize players could hit a ball like that, and so now you got to start practicing these bent balls. Like every day I'm trying to make saves off of Rachel Daly, one of the best players in the world, playing for the English national team, and she just makes me such a better player. And I'm so lucky to have been playing for a club, a college program, and now a professional franchise that is just constantly making me better. Do I get scored on every day? Yes, and I learn from it, and I love it, and it is just the most fun job in the world.
Yeah, because once you're still at my age, the players aren't. You can't. They still straight on shots, but once you get older, you're just like knuckleballs, and you're like, oh crap, I gotta reach and get it.
That makes it even more fun. It's amazing.
Yeah,
I do envy, we talk a ton about, even when we were just in Utah, about, think about when I was your age, what were my priorities, and trying not to make goalkeeping too complex, because my mom even still calls me before games and she's like, sweetie, just like keep the ball at the back of the net. Sometimes you just have to get so simple in that aspect, and you have to realize, like, wow, that's all I have to do, because you can get overwhelmed with all these techniques and style of play and the moment, and whether or not you're playing the team who's the number one in your league or the last in your league, whatever it may be. But it's constantly just keep the ball at the back of the net. That's kind of some of the best advice you can give any goalkeeper.
yeah. What steps help you achieve the ability to become a professional level goalkeeper?
I think it was the connections that I made throughout the years, even through the youth national team programs that I was on. I've learned from just so many great coaches. I'm not sure if you know this name, but Ian Foyer, he coaches out of Southern California. He used to coach for the LA Galaxy, and now he has his own goalkeeping company, Pro Goalkeeper Academy. Big name guy. He used to be a goalkeeper as well for West Ham. He's like the first American goalkeeper to ever go overseas. So I got connected with him just from living in Southern California, and he was super, super far away from where I lived, but I was willing to drive there. So I knew that connection was really important. So he helped me a lot with getting recruited to go to Penn State. And then my goalkeeper coach at Penn State, Tim Wassel, he was that key that helped me get to the Houston Dash. And so it's constantly building these relationships and then learning from all these goalkeeper coaches. Sometimes there's so many philosophies in goalkeeping. There's, the typical European method, there's the American method, there's the South American style of goalkeeping, and you just have to pull, information and all these techniques from all these different coaches. And so being able to be coachable is massive, and being able to learn and accept from someone who's teaching something so different than what you're used to, um, and trying to expand your game in that way is just massive.
Yep. Um, what sacrifices did you make through your life to be able to become a professional goalkeeper?
Gosh, what sacrifices did I not make? You there's so many things. I sacrificed my social life. I sacrificed having personal relationships with people. Even sacrifices family wise. Not being able to go home for Thanksgiving and Christmas, all the holidays. Um, Sacrificing. Sometimes even there's a balance of the student athlete life in college and even in high school of balancing soccer and academics. You have to figure out which is more important at that very moment, and most of the time I'm going to tell you that school is the most important until you get your degrees. But gosh, there's so many things that you have to prioritize your life, and you have to realize each individual is so different. And you have to, I always had really open conversations with my parents, and I told them I want to be on the national team one day and I want to play professional soccer. And they said, okay, perfect. And so, when I sometimes wanted to be led astray and I wanted to go to the beach with my friends, or I wanted to go to this birthday party, and then, oh well, I have games all weekend. And that's so natural being a goalkeeper at any age. You just have to realize and kind of bring yourself back and have that group around you to really be like, hey, remember your goals, because not every goalkeeper, there's all these self-help and motivational books about you have to do these certain things, and it's all self-driven, but you really have to have a tight circle that reminds goals. And honestly, that's not very many people. It could be two people in your life, that your mom, your dad, your boyfriend, girlfriend, a best friend, a teacher, a coach, whatever it may be. But you have to find those people that are going to keep you on track.
Because you can be friends, you can't hang out with friends. You gotta grind. You can't stop working.
Exactly, but that also doesn't mean that you just completely give your life to soccer as well. We
Yeah, you still gotta find time to hang out with people.
exactly. There's got to be that balance, because if you just immerse yourself completely in it, you're going to get to the top, but you're going to be alone and potentially miserable. So it's got to be that balance. And, I'm telling you, it is very possible to have a social life and be an incredible soccer player, incredible goalkeeper. You just got to figure out the priorities and, at that moment, like what is the most important. And sometimes if you have to take a day or two and just be like, I need to step away from soccer, that's totally fine. It is a lifestyle, but mental health is always the most important. And you can't perform in goal if, you don't have those positive mental health aspects in your life.
Yep. If you weren't a professional goalie, what else would you have wanted to be?
Well, currently, right now, my goal one day is to be an FBI agent. And so that is actually something that I am hopefully looking forward to do after my professional soccer career. This is kind of something new for me. I kind of want to be a criminal investigator. And so my family has had a long line of serving in the military and then even in the police force. And so I was trying to grab different things, and I've talked to a bunch of my family members, and I think that one thing that I learned being at Penn State is about discipline and accountability and, that leadership and teamwork. And I know it's kind of strange. A lot of people expect me to want to be a goalkeeper coach, but I love the idea of being able to serve my country, because I've done that with the youth national team programs. And so it's kind of a different outlet to serving my country.
Yeah, that's awesome. I just want to go back to saying you want to be an FBI agent.
Yep.
That's the least thing I expected anybody to say. It's like your friends tell you that I have a surprise for you, and then it's Barack Obama shows up.
Yeah, I mean, it's something that it's a huge goal, and I might not get there until later. I'm only 22. I'm so young still, and so I have a lot of years, and but I love being a leader, and I think that being in a high stakes job environment would be a good transition. So we'll see. I mean, it could always change. I was a recreation park and tourism management major at Penn State, and so I was a little lost during my college years trying to figure out what I wanted exactly to be when I grew up, because you never stop thinking about what you want to be when you grow up. So yeah, who knows? That is the ultimate goal though, but I am
Yeah,
for sure loving being a professional athlete right now.
yeah. Um, what have you done on the field and off the field that you're most proud of?
um i think I think I have the same answer for both the questions. I think that the relationships that I've built with the players that I've played with, both on the field and off the field. I think that one thing that I had to learn, I was fairly introverted when I was younger, and that was difficult being a goalkeeper because you have to be so vocal. And I think that I truly am two different people when I'm on the field, when I'm off the field. And so I think that those few people who get to play with me see a different side of me that no one else gets to see in my world. And so I think that developing those relationships and learning soccer wise, that you just really see this different side when you're on the field. And then I think the biggest part of my journey, especially just because I relate everything a little bit more back to Penn State right now, just because I'm a rookie with the Houston Dash, but that was the game changer. That made college not so overwhelming. Was those relationships that I built with my teammates at Penn State, because I just learned so much from such a fun group of people. In a college environment, you're going to be playing with people from all over the country. Now with the Dash, I'm playing from all over the world. So you just learn different things about people. I'm so curious about how people compete and people's the way they think and their minds. And I think that it's such a unique environment to be on a professional team and be in a collegiate team and learning what people do when times get tough, when they're celebrating. So I think that's the big thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it definitely is. What have you done on the field and off the field that you're most proud of?
I think that definitely winning. I think winning the championships are always really big, because on the field, especially because you end up pushing yourself further than you could even think, especially um, in the college environment. There's a couple different championships that you can win, and I'm lucky enough to have won a championship in my first year playing professional. And so I think those moments, even though it sounds cliche, but that's the epitome of being an athlete is winning those championships. And when I think of that, I just think of like confetti falling, and that's such a unique thing that people don't get to experience. I've won an ODP championship, and like no win or any sort of that is a small achievement. You have to always take those big moments and really celebrate yourself and think, wow, like whether or not you played 1 minute, 0 minutes, or 90 minutes, just the fact that you were on that team that accomplished something like that is huge. And I think off the field, I think getting my degree from Penn State, I think that was huge. I think that I'm so lucky to have been able to go to such a great institution, and I didn't. There's a lot of programs where you go and you're not playing school, you're playing soccer. But I was very much there to play school, and that was a huge priority for me. And I came from a family. My mom has her PhD in nursing, and so it was always a really big, always a really big thing for her to make sure that I got my education. And I was lucky enough to play soccer while doing that. And so I think that was something that was really big. That moment that I graduated and finished that was huge for me.
Yeah, I think I agree with you 100% when you say on the field is like winning a trophy or winning a championship or something. And funny that you say that because I actually I just came back from ODP practice too.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yep. I was in Region 1. We won it, I think, back in 2014. We won that national championship. So that was kind of the first taste that I got of winning, and it becomes addicting, and it pushes you during training to make you better. And you think about those moments, and it doesn't mean that you have to win championships or anything like that to be a successful goalkeeper. I forced myself actually when I was just starting out. I picked goalkeeping up really easily, and I chose to play for the worst team in Southern California just to become a better goalkeeper. And so you also have to appreciate losing just as much as you appreciate winning. And so that moment that I had that whole year was just getting pounded on. I would lose games 8-0, but I would make like 80 something saves and stuff. But that was like a huge accomplishment to me to be able to do that. And so you got to take winning and losing as equal learning experiences.
Yeah. What goalies or soccer players inspired you to want to be a professional?
I think the guy Ian Foyer that I talked about, he definitely inspired me. He was just a kid from Nevada who I think his parents were in showbiz, and he was the first American goalkeeper to ever go overseas and sign a contract. He was 16, and actually, funny enough, his son is doing the exact same thing potentially for the same club. And then Hope Solo, she was someone that I really looked up to. She was the epitome of women's goalkeepers when I was a young goalkeeper, and she was just she was just like gorgeous, like stone cold in goal. Like it's like she was Alex Morgan. How do you have like Alex Morgan and Hope Solo on the same team? Like they were just such a dynamic duo at the top and in the back, and she was rebellious, and she made incredible saves, and she didn't play by the rules. And she unfortunately she's not playing anymore. I wish she was still out there on the field, but she really put women goalkeepers on the map, and so people still talk about her to this day. And I absolutely love her. My answer never changes, as controversial as the end of her career was, but that's the way things go. And I think that she just showed everyone, like, hey, women goalkeepers are no joke. We can do exactly what any of the male goalkeepers are doing. And so that's really inspiring for young women and young goalkeepers all around the world.
Mm-hmm. What are your favorite gloves to wear in net and why?
My favorite glove to wear is the Aviata brand, just in general. I just signed with them. They're a Southern California brand. and they're absolutely incredible. I really love that. I don't like bulky gloves, and so I love that you're able to choose and like feel the ball, and I love their cut, and they have so many different cool colorways and everything like that. It's just a really comfortable glove to wear. I hate big bulky things, and there's like so much foam in the back and everything, and so I'm really lucky to be sponsored by that company, and I would hopefully wear them for the rest of my career without a doubt.
That's actually one of my dreams. I want to grow up and be sponsored by like a goalkeeping glove brand.
Yeah, it was amazing. And I mean, being in college, you do get free gloves. So I used to wear Nike because we were a Nike school at Penn State. But it was amazing to sign my professional contract. And then I reached out to them right away and they were like, yeah, we would love to have you on board. And I actually just got back from vacation. So I came home to this brand new shipment of gloves and it was just absolutely incredible. And I love to be part of the new like glove drops, the new like releases they come out with, and let me tell you, it's like goalkeeper Christmas up in here.
Is there a save that you made that really sticks out in your mind?
Oh gosh, I think the game that I will forever remember is the last game that I ever played for Penn State. We ended up losing to Stanford last fall, so that was my last game as a Penn Stater, and I absolutely played lights out. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it at all. I played the most incredible game of my life, and every single one of the saves I made. Katarina Marcario, she was the lead goal scorer for Stanford last year, and I think even the year before that. Incredible Brazilian player. We scouted her so hard, all the players, all the Stanford players. Stanford's one of the best programs in the country, and to be challenged by all those players, that was absolutely incredible. And so I'm proud to say that she did not score on me in that game. But yeah, I think that people always, there's highlights of goalkeepers and they're like flinging and they're all, there's those typical, photo shoot moments. And I think that, the best saves are sometimes the easiest ones to make, or, the seemingly easy, the ones that we make look easy, even though we know how hard that technique is. So I think that that entire game was really incredible for me. And I think I'm going to pat myself on the back. I think I made a lot of saves look as easy as I could, trying to keep the ball in the back of the net. That's ultimately the most important thing. So it's hard to pick one, but that was a pretty big game for me, all those saves.
It's awesome. What advice would you give a young goalkeeper like me that wants to play at a professional level?
I think dream as big as possible. You can absolutely do anything. You can play, if you want to play for Real Madrid, you play for Real Madrid. There is nothing that should stop you. And if you have a goal like that, speak it out into the world and speak it out into the universe and say, I want to play for the national team one day, because that's exactly what I did. And I constantly said that and I constantly reminded myself of it, and my family, and, they constantly were telling me to keep going and keep going. And, I was just having this conversation actually with my mom 2 days ago when we were at dinner together. And I had my first fangirl moment. I told this girl I was a professional soccer player, and she just like lost her mind. And I just couldn't fathom that, because sometimes you forget how big of a deal it is to make your ODP team, to whatever your goal is. You can dream as big as you possibly can, but then make those smaller goals. So, um, gosh, any type of accomplishment like that is huge. And so don't sell yourself short. You can do absolutely anything that you want, and you can push yourself to become any type of goalkeeper that you want, and that's a fact.
Yeah. Now, do you have any questions for me?
Well, I want to know more about you. So, where are you from?
I am from Lynchburg, Virginia.
Lynchburg, Virginia. Okay, so not too far from Penn State. So you play for what, that region one?
Two.
Region two? Okay. So I want to know, when did you start goalkeeping?
I started goalkeeping when I was 6,
Okay,
but I
awesome.
started playing soccer when I was 3.
Awesome. Well, what is your favorite part of being a goalkeeper?
Um, Making those good saves that you'll always remember.
Nice. Yep, I very much agree with that. Let's see. What is your favorite team to watch?
Manchester United.
Manchester United. Okay, you're not a Man City fan.
Nope.
I'm pretty split. I never like to absolutely say what is my favorite team because I love watching good soccer just in general, but
Yeah.
Man City's a good pick.
Yeah. The funny thing is, I have a Man City jersey in my room. Like, if I do good one game, we go to Ross and see whatever we can find.
Yeah, exactly. I used to do that. That's why I had an FC Barcelona jersey and it had no name or anything on the back. But it was a sketchy little jersey, but I loved wearing it because it was fun. Support any team is always a
I
good.
know. Yeah, we'll find the most random team in the world, and we'll still probably buy it. I have Man City jerseys in my room. Atlanta United.
Mm-hmm.
I have Chelsea. I have more than I can count.
Yeah, I don't doubt it. Yeah, I mean, I love supporting all different clubs, supporting incredible soccer players, watching the. I don't know if you watched the Champions League final
Yeah, I
yesterday.
did.
That was incredible. Didn't Neuer play insane?
Yeah, he did.
Oh God, that is such exciting. I love that people are still absolutely shocked that he's playing so well. Like he's
I
played so
know.
well for so many years, and that,
He
that
like
spreading
10
save that
years.
he made. Yeah, it was pretty incredible. So, um, what goalkeeper glove brand do you wear?
Well, for right now, I've been wearing Adidas for 3 years,
Okay.
but we just ordered my first pair of West Coast.
Nice. Yeah, I've heard a lot of good things about West Coast. A lot of the professional players in my league are also wearing West Coast.
Yeah.
So I urge you to try out Aviat. I think you'll really like it.
Mhm. Okay. It's okay.
Yeah, might as well. Might as well give it a try. I mean, can't hurt.
Yeah, it won't. Except my dad's bank account.
Yes, true. Oh, my dad was so excited when I got to college and they started buying all my gloves. I can't even tell you how much money we spent on lessons and gloves. And I would be like, it'd be like 2 weeks to go by, and I'd be like, "Can I get a new pair?" And he's like, "Yeah, no." And I'm like, "Dang it."
That's me. Like every second, I
I
get a
know
new
you're like,
pair.
I want them as sticky and as new as possible. We're greedy. Goalkeeping is
Yeah,
not a cheap position.
you buy more than a normal like field player does.
Exactly. Yep.
Padding, gloves, headbands.
Yep. What is your
Um,
ultimate goal? What college would you love to go to? What do you think would
um,
be your number one?
I really want to go to UNC.
UNC. Wow, my roommate is actually a UNC grad, Bridget Andrzejewski. She was one of the draft picks for the Houston Dash this past year. So I've heard a lot of good things.
Cool.
I would definitely push for Penn State. We're doing great in the men's program. So check it out, close to home.
Okay, yeah. Amanda, thank you so much for coming on 10 Questions with a Pro. I really enjoyed chatting with you and hearing your story. Thank you so much for coming on 10 Questions with a Pro and talking to me. Remember to check out this show and all our other shows on our YouTube channel. This show is in audio format, Spotify and iTunes podcast. Just search Keep a Free Cure and remember to subscribe and like. Also, we updated our website. Please go to www.keepafreecure.com to learn more about Keep a Free Cure and to find out how you can help. I'm Brady Krizowitz, and my guest was Amanda Dennis. Thank you so much for tuning in to 10 Questions with the Pro.